It's Tuesday, June 2nd. The U.S. President Donald Trump has lowered tariffs on some steel and aluminum imports in a move to help struggling farmers in the U.S. Could it also mean a break for the Canadian industry?
So to put in place some strategic, I think, containment initiatives.
One RM is under evacuation orders, others on standby as wildfires threaten a number of Saskatchewan communities. Canada rounding into game shape ahead of the World Cup, beating Uzbekistan 2-0 in a tune-up. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Thanks for waking up with us.
Team Canada, big performance yesterday, and now they're having a problem with counterfeit jerseys. Everybody wants to get in the spirit, but they don't want to spend the money, so they're losing some cash.
You don't want to see the counterfeits out there, but I understand not wanting to pay the money for it.
My dad in southern Alberta said that it's absolute monsoon season, and it looks like that's coming this way. Are we going to get wet today?
We are going to be getting some rain today, mainly through areas around Prince Albert, but we could also be seeing some down through the southeast corner around Estevan.
Usually whatever you see in Brooks, you see here a couple days later. So get ready. 6:01, let's get to news. We begin with this. A manhunt is over after a deadly shooting rocks a small community in northern Saskatchewan. The remote community of Pelican Narrows is reeling after a shooting near the local health clinic left one person dead and another injured. RCMP say a suspect was taken into custody late Monday, nearly 6 hours after residents in the community of about 500 kilometers northeast of Saskatoon were told to shelter in place. Officials say for safety reasons, schools and the local band office will be closed for the rest of the week. About 1,200 people are still out of their homes with 2 wildfires burning in northern Saskatchewan.
The higher the temperature, the lower the humidity, the more fires tend to start acting more, aggressive. You throw in some wind there, and you've got yourself a very bad combination.
People who were forced out are fleeing the Kayford fire near the Manitoba border. The Lobstick fire near the community of Shellbrook forced about 130 people from their homes. They were given the green light to go home yesterday. The Premier, who is from Shellbrook area, says crews are working hard to keep the fire from reaching the northern Saskatchewan River, where there are still farms running along the water. Officials in Calgary, speaking of water, warning people to be careful near the Bow and Elbow River as rainfall warnings carry on in that province.
We're asking Calgarians for their help to stay away from the riverbanks. Please avoid activities on the river right now. Let's do everything that we can to keep our first responders safe.
Officials are also stressing it's not the same situation as the devastating 2013 floods, but the river's flow is still well beyond safe levels, running twice at its usual rate. Another 20 to 50 millimeters of rain could still fall in Calgary today, adding to the 50 to 100 millimeters that have already fallen. Meanwhile, in areas southwest of Calgary and in Edmonton, there are rainfall warnings, could be totals of up to 150 millimeters there. With the 1-year anniversary of the Denair Beach wildfire devastation today, another active wildfire season underway, the NDP calling on the provincial government to release an independent review of the 2025 wildfire response. Consulting firm MNP was selected last October to conduct the review, which was originally expected to be completed before the 2026 season. But during the spring legislative session, the community Safety Minister said the review had been granted an extension until the end of spring. The NDP says many questions remain unanswered, while the Premier says the report will be released as soon as the government is able.
We have serious questions about the fire response. We have serious questions about the communications coming from SPSA, from Red Cross, the financial supports, insurance issues. The list just goes on and on.
We'll release the report as soon as we're able, and if there's recommendations that are in that report, we're going to try to address them as quickly as possible.
Mo says the review could help inform a broader conversation about improving wildfire response and support for evacuees. The Saskatoon Fire Department says it could be months or years before we know the cause of that fire that destroyed 4 homes last week, if we get any answer at all. 4 homes and 6 garages burned to the ground in Saskatoon's Hampton Village neighborhood Friday, with the temperature above 30 degrees and the wind above 30 kilometers per hour. The fire department says because of the busy weekend with fires elsewhere and the size of this fire, the investigation will take plenty of time. The investigator needs to interview everyone living in the destroyed homes, witnesses, and review photos and videos. Raymer says everyone was insured, no one needed emergency housing, and an excavator leveled all of the homes on the weekend to prevent anything from reigniting. By the time the fire was out, 20 properties had some form of damage.
Still under investigation at this time. I will say we will be very factual and thorough before we give a cause and origin determination, but at the end of the day it may also be an undetermined. So that is a fact of fire investigations based on what is seeing.
The deputy fire chief, who you just heard from there, says at this point nothing is being ruled out and the investigator isn't working to find an origin as soon as possible, but as soon as practical. A fire at a home in Saskatoon's Mount Royal neighborhood was a result of arson. Firefighters called to the 400 block of Avenue S North at about 4 o'clock Monday morning. They arrived to find smoke coming from a main floor window. Everyone was able to escape to safety. The investigation has found that the fire was deliberately set in 2 places, a bedroom and a back landing. Damage is estimated to be about $50,000. The fire has been handed to police investigators to look into the arson. Canada Post workers have accepted a new contract ending a years-long labor dispute. The union, representing about 55,000 postal workers, says employees voted more than 85% in favor of a new 5-year deal. It includes wage increases of 6.5% and 3% in the first 2 years. It also locks in hikes that match the annual inflation rate in years 3 through 5. In a statement, Canada Post thanked Canadians and businesses for their patience, saying it will work hard to regain their trust after several disruptions to service. Almost all Canadian universities fell in a global ranking of top schools. The University of Toronto ranked 23rd in last year's Centre for World University Rankings. U of T held its spot this year, while all 37 other ranked Canadian schools slipped. The group behind the rankings says the fall is due to years of inadequate funding and an erosion in Canadian high education systems. Harvard was the top school for the 15th straight year. Advocates have initiated letter-writing campaigns to keep the Snowbirds Air Demonstration Squadron in the air. On May 19th, the federal government announced the Snowbirds will be grounded at the end of this air show season while it searches for and procures new aircraft for the team, replacing the out-of-date Tudor jets you're seeing on your screen. Honorary Snowbird Brian Swidorowicz points to the pandemic when the Snowbirds were a signal of support to Canadians, and now he says it's the time for Canada to return the squadron back to the squadron.
You don't know what you got till it's gone. Well, we're getting pretty close to having it gone, and if there's ways for that not to happen, then all Canadians need to take that to heart.
They want all Canadians to write to their local MP. Drivers across Saskatchewan being reminded to slow down and stay alert this month as part of SGI's latest traffic safety spotlight. SGI hosted its 4th Slow to 60 road safety event to reinforce the message that drivers must slow to 60 kilometers per hour when passing emergency or service vehicles stopped on the side of the road with their lights flashing. Officials say too many close calls and preventable collisions continue to put first responders and stranded motorists alike at risk. In 2024 alone, there were 124 crashes involving emergency and service vehicles, resulting in injuries and 1 death.
If you got somebody coming past you and you're working on the side of the road and they're coming past you at 100 kilometers an hour, very dangerous situation. So these guys are doing important work out there, to make sure everybody is safe, not only for the community, but for, themselves as well.
When we're asked to go out and do a call, we're looking to help somebody that's having a bad day and make their day better. We also want everybody to go home safe. And I guess the message I have is please just slow down, move over, and lets everybody go home safe, because if something happens, it's not just us, it's also you.
Now, the base fine for anyone going over 60 per hour in the presence of an emergency or service vehicle operator is $170, with additional fines per kilometer over that speed limit. Let's get over to the Weather Center and talk rain.
Yeah, well, we're seeing more of those rainfall warnings over in Alberta, of course, as we were talking about a little bit earlier. Still seeing a little bit of those heat warnings in effect for Saskatchewan. Again, these have severely reduced. We're more so seeing temperatures right around that seasonal average down through central and southern Saskatchewan. We are seeing some of that rain, though, just not seeing those official rainfall warnings in effect. This morning to start the day, we are seeing it mainly down south through the southwest corner and southeast corner of the province. You do see some of that red and yellow color coming up from the United States. So that does indicate that we have a risk of seeing some thunderstorms today right along Estevan this morning. But we do have a chance of seeing some more of those thunderstorms in the afternoon throughout central Saskatchewan, right around Saskatoon and Prince Albert more so. Still seeing some more of that rain into those evening hours. This is at about 11:15 p.m. So again, right around Saskatoon and Prince Albert there, a little bit around Swift Current. Moving on into Wednesday morning, again, it's still going to be falling, although we're seeing things clearing up in Alberta for the most part there. Seeing some more of that precipitation over in Manitoba as well. This is by Wednesday, 6:15 p.m. Seeing some of that right around Regina and the Parkland region. And then we move into Thursday, where things for the most part in Saskatchewan do clear up in terms of that precipitation, but still seeing more of that cloud cover, really favoring the eastern side of the province there. How much rain by the end of the day today? Well, Prince Albert is expecting about 18 millimeters of rain. Saskatoon about 5, about 2 millimeters on tap for Yorkton, so not so much there. 15 millimeters on tap for Estevan, although as we just saw, it is currently falling down through that southeast corner of the province. So what that means is that this number will likely be going down as the show goes on here by the end of the morning. Today's forecast with those temperatures looking pretty close to the seasonal average in some places, except for down through the southwest corner where it is far below that average. Swift Current only reaching about 13 degrees today, about 18 degrees for Moose Jaw, 20 degrees for Regina, and 22 for Saskatoon. So those are the numbers that are right along that seasonal average there. Very typical highs for this time of year in Saskatchewan. 21 for Yorkton with that risk of some thunderstorms, 22 in Weyburn, and 23 in Estevan. And we're also talking about the winds today that are still elevated. They haven't really been going down for the past few days. So this is very typical for what we've been seeing all the way through the weekend.
Survey released this morning finds most Canadians want to see big changes to our healthcare system. The poll comes from Nanos Research. It looks into Canadians' experiences with healthcare, what they find important, and what changes they would like to see. The survey found that Canadians have reached a tipping point with the status quo.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Well, in case you missed it, Uber has released its 2026 Lost and Found Index, offering a look at the items riders left behind in vehicles across Canada over the past year. Well, phones, wallets, and bags once again top the list of the most commonly forgotten items. Uber says some riders left behind a few more unusual things.
Tell me.
Yeah, so among them, a 15-pound frozen turkey.
Naturally.
An aquarium fish. And supplies in Toronto, a full set of goalie pads in Edmonton, and a violin hard case in Montreal. Uber says Saskatoon is Canada's most forgetful city, with Regina third, followed by Windsor, Victoria, and St. John's. So we're very forgetful in Saskatchewan.
Goalie pads, were you buying those on Marketplace at the time? Were you late for your game?
I want to think it was probably like they were, I don't know, leaving a game or something.
Fish and aquarium supplies.
Yeah, like an actual fish, and you were like, oh my gosh, I forgot my fish I just bought.
That was probably in Saskatoon, the most forgetful city, right? One of three. Question of the day time. We were talking about the most valuable item you've lost. Maybe you left it in an Uber or a ride share of some sort.
Have you ever lost anything of value?
I left an iPad in a plane, but very quickly the staff at the airline were able to get it to the area, and I got it back. Thank goodness.
Have lost Apple AirPods before, and I never got them back. I think someone probably found them. And when you open AirPods, it does connect to a phone, and it says Kayleen's AirPods.
Okay.
So whoever found them did know the name. And my name isn't a common name. I want to think they could just type it into Facebook and be like, hey, did you lose these? They didn't.
Wow.
So I had to buy new ones.
Good thing you make all that
I hope they're watching right now being like, hey, those are the AirPods I found. Thanks for those.
Definitely not giving those back. Text 10400, standard message rates may apply. Scan the QR code, share those answers. We'll share those throughout the course of the show. Let's take a look over the live city of Regina. Hopefully no rain on the way, but we'll find out more on the full forecast coming up. Workers are wanted in Saskatchewan's mining industry. Members of the mining industry gathered at the University of Saskatchewan to mark the start of Mining Week. The Saskatchewan mining industry says it will need 15,000 new employees to work in the trades and engineering in the next 10 years. It says working with its partners to fill those positions now.
To increase the mining labor pool, we're working closely with the government and industry to promote career opportunities in mining and collaborating with post-secondary institutions for training that will attract a new generation of talented employees that will underpin the success of Saskatchewan's mining sector.
According to data collected by the province, the average salary for an employee in the mining industry is just over $155,000 a year. It's been a year since Hudson's Bay closed at Midtown Plaza in Saskatoon, leaving major vacancy in the downtown. Now, the recent closure of Toys R Us has created another large empty retail space nearby. Shauna Nelson with Downtown Saskatoon says many downtown businesses continue to report positive sales and strong customer support, so she's not seeing the absence of the two major retailers as a major stumbling block.
Had some discussions with Midtown and just, some of the businesses that are within the mall and traffic is still there and the retail spend is still there, if not better. So I feel that the Bay leaving hasn't really impacted like some of those thought that it would, not only for the mall, but also within our district as well.
Retail expert from the Edwards School of Business says many of those spaces need to be redeveloped or divided for new use, but that'll take some time. Now let's go live to Mike Siona gearing up for local companies that care. And I understand we're getting a taste of what that event really entails this morning.
Yeah, we certainly are, because we're going to have all three charity partners throughout the morning. Now, we'll begin here with Tammy Beauregard, who is with STARS, and Chris Sikorsky, who is with Local Company That Cares. Start with you, rather, Chris, and tell me and tell everybody watching exactly what Local CTC is.
So Local Companies That Care, it's exactly what it sounds like, right? So it is Saskatoon businesses contributing to Saskatoon charities, right? So we come together a couple times a year, we have a lot of fun, and we hear from awesome organizations like STARS, Straight Up, and Teen Challenge this round. And there's an opportunity for our members to donate at the end of the night, make a financial impact, and it's just an awesome night of collective giving.
Perfect. I love that. Now, Tammy, let's talk about the pitch part of it, because this is ultimately what you'll be doing. Can you kind of give us a sense of what messaging you'll be bringing to all these business owners?
For sure. This is such a great night. We want to let everyone know and bring awareness about who STARS is, where the dollars are going, which is going right back to the critical care mission and be there for the next patients in need.
Now, obviously, the financial component when it comes to STARS is well known, and you guys have to fundraise each and every year just to keep the operations going.
Absolutely. We have to fundraise $12.4 million every year.
Every year. That's I mean, irrespective of the expenditures of the actual helicopters, but this is just to keep things up and flying, and it's one of those things that, boy, you wish you never need, but you're so happy that we have.
Absolutely. When we are able to fundraise and be there and add the equipment and the talent and the innovation in the back of the helicopter, we are able to be there for the next patient.
incredible. And Chris, so I mean, that's kind of a microcosm of the kind of pitch that we'll hear, and then it's up to you and the business owners to decide where each of you sends your money.
Yeah, so typically it's quite the challenge at the end of the night. It's a good problem to have, but yeah, an opportunity, like I said, to donate financially, and it's a big awareness piece too, right? To hear from these local organizations and the impact they're having here in Saskatoon. It's pretty cool. It's a good night of good food, good music, awesome venue here at LB Distillers, and just an awesome time to make a difference.
And it's next Tuesday, by the way, so get out there, local companies that care.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at 10 degrees right now, 11 degrees through Saskatoon, a mix of sun and cloud in both cities. By lunchtime in Regina, we could be seeing a very light amount of drizzle, 19 degrees in both cities at that time. The rain in Saskatoon likely coming a little bit later in the afternoon, 22 degrees by final bell and 20 degrees by final bell in Regina. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. The average in Regina is still $169.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $145.9. In Saskatoon, the same average price today, but you might be able to find it for as low as $155.9. In the farm markets now, we find the street price of canola at $734.65 per ton. The futures price $776.60 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton. Red Spring wheat $284.19 per ton. No change to the Canadian dollar today. It's still at 72.47 cents U.S. Coming up in 10 minutes, a conversation with the leader of the official opposition. Stay with us.
Tessa, good morning. It is 6:30. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a proclamation making changes to certain tariffs on metals, including steel and aluminum, along with copper imports. According to the White House, the adjusted tariffs will drop from 25% to 15%. This tariff would mostly affect agricultural equipment in a move to help farmers facing higher costs because of the war in Iran. The order will also allow foreign companies to qualify for a 10% duty rate if their equipment contains at least 85% American steel or aluminum. The changes take effect next Monday and will remain in place until the end of 2027. Canada's U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will be in Washington today. He is set to meet with U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. Official trade talks between Ottawa and Washington have yet to start ahead of a mandatory review of the North American Trade Agreement known as CUSMA. The U.S. and Mexico have wrapped up their first round of bilateral talks last week. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's request for an emergency debate on the state of Canada's economy has been denied, giving more fuel to the debate over a possible recession.
The House understands that. We will control what we can control.
The leader of the opposition should stop running down Canada and join us.
It's the Liberal Prime Minister that's running down our economy and then running away from accountability for it. Where is he anyway?
Speaker of the House said the request didn't meet requirements for an emergency debate. Statistics Canada says Canada's economy contracted slightly for 2 straight quarters, meeting the technical definition of a recession. But the Prime Minister has yet to take questions on whether Canada is facing a real recession. The Saskatchewan NDP claims the provincial government is going to new lengths to hide details of a plan to refurbish coal-fired power plants in this province. The NDP says the latest Freedom of Information request for cost studies have come back with mostly redacted pages. You see them on your screen. Sask Power has pegged the capital cost of keeping the coal plants running at $2.6 billion, but the NDP says leaked documents have showed the price at $11.4 billion. The opposition believes Sask Power is now trying to find out who at Sask Power is leaking that information.
I've heard there's a bit of a witch hunt taking place at the moment. I've heard there are efforts being made to stymie further leaks, document tracing, watermarking all sorts of documents and files within Sask Power. I think this speaks to an organization that's under siege as opposed to a government that's interested in being accountable and transparent with the people they're supposed to represent.
Provincial government is preparing a response. Earlier, Sask Power said it was inappropriate for employees to leak the contents of internal studies. The cost of living is pushing more Canadians toward food banks, and according to a new report, this is not a temporary squeeze. The 2026 Food Banks of Canada Poverty Report Card highlights some of the major issues Canadians are facing, along with regional issues. This year, Saskatchewan, as we told you yesterday, received a D+ grade. According to the report, Saskatchewan people are spending 61% of their incomes on essentials, the highest rate in Canada.
Saskatchewan has the highest child poverty rate of all the provinces. We also know that Saskatchewan has the greatest depth of poverty, meaning that it's not just that people are living in poverty, it's how far below the poverty line that they're living.
All right, so the report gave Canada a D+ grade overall as well. The highest province graded was, of course, Quebec. A child is in critical condition after a bouncy castle in Montreal was swept into the air during a strong thunderstorm.
I seen this thing up high, at least 40 feet, I would say, and it was like just turning up in the air, and then all of a sudden it ended up all the way down there on the floor, so everybody ran to open it up because there were children inside.
Okay, so I have questions. It happened on Sunday at an annual community event in Parc Ouellette. Now, Environment Canada had issued a severe thunderstorm warning over the weekend for Montreal area, warning of hail and strong wind gusts. 11 people were hurt, including a 3-year-old girl who was rushed to hospital in critical condition. The LaSalle Borough Mayor says they were now looking into exactly what happened. A grocery store in New Brunswick has been left on unstable ground as the land beneath it disappears.
We do not know of any other active erosion zones within Fallsbrook for now, but still we are waiting on other analysis from the engineers.
Now, there's been a partial collapse of the store in Grand Falls, with a portion of it now hanging over a steep embankment. There it is on your screen. The municipality says the area around the store is considered unsafe, with barricades now placed around the store. There are 17 areas around Grand Falls that have been classified as being at high risk for erosion. The mayor of the community wants some government support to come up with a long-term plan to fix it. The Yorkton Brick Mill will soon be accessible by wheelchair thanks to a grant. On Monday, the Rick Hansen Foundation announced the recipients of the 2026 RBC Barrier Buster Grants program. The goal of the program is to fund physical accessibility improvements across Canada. 40 communities were awarded up to $40,000. The funding will be used to build an elevator which will provide wheelchair access to the historic building's first floor.
We want to be accessible to everybody, and a lot of our seniors come in mobility issues and parking and so on, so that way they can be in a wheelchair and get to the first floor of the mill and look around and see what's here.
4 other communities in Saskatchewan have received funding, Wadena and Moose Jaw among them. How hyped are Canadians about the World Cup? Well, more than 46,000 fans showed up on a cold, wet day in Edmonton to watch Canada take on Uzbekistan in a tune-up.
Osorio drives it in! Jonathan Osorio with the goal to give Canada the lead in Edmonton.
Canada opened the scoring in the second half when Jonathan Osorio scored from the right box. Team Canada added another goal in stoppage time to seal the 2-0 win. There was a moment of concern when Moise Bombito left the pitch at halftime with his leg wrapped up in ice. Team said it was precautionary since it was only 11 degrees and the pitch was wet from 2 days of rain. Canada has one more tune-up game left on Friday against Ireland. That game will be played in Montreal. Let's take a look at the sunrise out the front window of Dave's tractor while he's sitting in Shell Lake, Saskatchewan. Kayleen, beautiful day to get the crop in the ground.
Absolutely beautiful. And if you saw the sunrise this morning, also beautiful. We had some of those cotton candy skies. The sun is already fully up right now, although we are seeing a lot of cloud cover to start the day. It's not exactly bright and sunny like what we were seeing at the end of last week with all of that heat. Still seeing a little bit of those heat warnings today, but they are concentrated far up north, specifically in the northeast part of the province. Right now in the Queen City, we're waking up to 10 degrees with that cloud cover and winds coming in at 19 kilometers per hour. We could be seeing those increase today up to about 45 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, also seeing a mix of sun and cloud to start your day. Right now we're at 11 degrees and winds coming in at 17 kilometers per hour. Won't be seeing as strong of those gusts later on this afternoon. Let's turn our attention to those current temperatures across the province. La Ronge, you are our hotspot in the province this hour at 16 degrees, 9 degrees through South End. So take a look at that difference there. 11 degrees in Prince Albert, 10 degrees in Spiritwood to wake you up, 12 degrees in Melfort. Down in the south, a lot of places now in those double digits, 10 degrees in Swift Current, 11 degrees in Moose Jaw, 13 degrees in Weyburn, and 13 degrees in Estevan and Yorkton as well. Later on in the afternoon, a lot of these numbers are right along that seasonal average for many places in the province today. That's right between 20 to 22. So Regina and Saskatoon right there. 20 degrees for Regina, 22 for Saskatoon, 21 in Yorkton, and 23 degrees in Estevan. We were talking a little bit earlier about those rainfall totals. It's going to be down through Estevan, more so falling in the morning hours, and a lot of that has already come down. Prince Albert also going to be seeing that risk of a thunderstorm today. Yorkton, the number has gone up as to what we are expecting in terms of that precipitation today. Now expecting about 20 millimeters to be falling by the end of the day. The number in Prince Albert has gone down to about 7 millimeters, about 3 millimeters for Saskatoon, 2 for the Battlefords, 1 for Swift Current, and 6 millimeters on tap for Estevan. Regina, we're not excluded from that. We could be seeing just a little bit of a light sprinkling today, just not any large accumulations of that. Temperatures falling tomorrow just slightly to about 19 degrees, 23 by Thursday. That's also the day that we're seeing the rain on the radar clearing up for many places across the province. 25 on Friday, a lot of sunshine on the way. Back up to 30 degrees by Saturday. We are seeing some rain on the radar on that day, but it could be concentrating more so in the early morning and later on into the evening hours. In Saskatoon, 18 degrees tomorrow, seeing that risk of a thunderstorm continue on. 23 by Thursday and 24 degrees by Friday with that mix of sun and cloud.
Time to check in with the leader of the official opposition, Carla Beck, in studio with us this morning. Thank you for spending some time.
Good to be here.
Let's start. We could start a number of places, but we'll start with national unity because that is one of the major talkers out of the Western Premier's meeting. Scott Moe says he believes in a strong Saskatchewan within a united Canada. We've seen what's happened in Alberta. Yeah. What's the NDP's position right now?
I've always been very proud to be from Saskatchewan. Always proud Canadian. I think it's really important in times like these that all leaders speak up and talk about not only the risk of separation, but our love of this country and our dedication to seeing it work.
Have you had conversations with Wab Kinew, who was very vocal?
Yeah, we have last year spent some time out in Manitoba and in Calgary as well, talking about national unity, not only the importance of Alberta and all provinces staying in Canada, but also the risk that is there when we even talk about separation, what that does for investment, what that does for unity within a province. I think things are about to get pretty heated in Alberta. I think it's really important that those voices are out there talking about what we stand to lose if we continue further down this road.
The province of Saskatchewan has sent out mailers. I got one. I filled it out and returned it on the social media policy. How valuable is forming a social media policy, or should we as a province even be wading into these waters?
Well, I think consultation ahead of something as important as this is super important. You know, I will say there have been other decisions that have been made without this sort of consultation. I think I'd like to see it on more issues. There's no doubt that social media has had an impact on kids. My kids are all grown now, but this has been a big experiment with our kids, and I think that thinking about what the impact has been and how we might lessen some of those concerns, I think is important. I don't think that there's a magic bullet when it comes to children's mental health. I think this is maybe one piece of that, but I'd like to see us look at more ways that we can improve our children's physical and mental well-being.
You were sitting in this chair while I was reading the 6 6:30 News, and in that was the item about Sask Power, the rates and the coal refurbishment. Is it your firm belief that the people at Sask Power are trying to be muzzled at this point? It seems like more information keeps coming out.
Yeah, I think that the lack of transparency is jarring, and I do see a pattern with this government right now. When someone speaks out, the impulse is not to fix the problem that's being talked about. It's often to move to muzzle. We've seen that at Sask Power. We've seen that within the healthcare system as well. This is an incredibly important issue. We saw some of the major industry in this province, when the initial increase was announced, speak out about the impact on existing businesses and on future investment. Certainly people right now cannot afford to see their power bills increase in the way that we would see with a $26 billion investment into coal refurbishment. We already have the highest levels of poverty and financial anxiety in this province. Again, I think there's been a trend through all of these things about the importance of consulting and being honest with people, and unfortunately that's not the path that we see the government down right now.
Did the same thing with the Premier when he was here last week. I wanted to lighten the mood because people out there forget that you are also people, right? Politicians are also humans. So you're going to spend a lot. You spend a lot of time on the road. I know your team is fanned out everywhere. What's on your playlist when you're driving around seeing these communities?
Oh, there's a lot of Dwight Yoakam on my playlist right now. I'm pretty sad I didn't get tickets to see him in Moose Jaw. I've got friends who are going, so I'm going to pretend that I'm at the concert that way.
FaceTime them, get it through video. What's a hobby that you have that people might be surprised?
Oh, gardening. I'm checking my fingernails here. So we're putting in a garage right now, so mostly I'm digging out plants so we can put the garage in, but I look forward to being able to put those plants back in.
Last one, who's the funniest member of your team?
Oh, Jared Clark was the first one that came to mind, and I don't know, now he'll be insufferable, but
if my teammates said that about me, it would be the same way. Carla, thank you so much for a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Daryl. Great to be here.
Let's get out to Janelle Lipai this morning. Janelle, good morning.
Good morning. The Gift of Giving Gala is coming up in September, and those tickets are on sale. So I've got Chelsea here with me to talk everything we need to know. Chelsea, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Tell me a little bit about what the Gift of Giving Gala is all about.
So the Gift of Giving Gala is a newly established organization. We are going into year 3 here, and we are committed to supporting mental health initiatives for children and youth across the province of Saskatchewan.
All right. And for those watching who have been before, they are fully aware that there is a theme every year. What is this year's theme?
Yeah, so this year it's called Come Fly With Us. So it's around the world, and it's very multicultural. Think kind of mosaic vibes. We're going to have different vendors kind of set up. Every year we have something a little bit different, whether that be from photo booths or forever jewelry, and it all goes to supporting great causes.
Absolutely, it does. All right, and for those who are watching and interested in attending, where can they go for some tickets?
Yeah, they can visit us online at thegiftofgivinggala.ca or on our socials, The Gift of Giving Gala as well. It is held this year at the Connexus Arts Center on September 12th. And honestly, we like to pride ourselves on the fact that it's a different experience that you really haven't had here in Regina. And we love that. Everything is included in your ticket. That is like your meals, all of the vendors, your liquor, your cab ride to the event, your cab ride home from the event. It's an all-inclusive package to help support a great cause.
All right, Chelsea, wonderful information. Thanks very much for this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, well, that does wrap things up for us. But once again, those tickets are on sale. You're definitely going to want to get your hands on some before they're all out.
It's June 2nd, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to these twins, Jamie and Jessica. They're turning 41 today. We hope your day is super special. With love from your mom and dad, Donna and Rick. Happy 15th birthday to Lantana. Wishing you so much love on your special day. With love from your mom. And happy birthday to Emily. We hope you have a great day celebrating. With love from your partner, Brooke, and all your friends and family.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Please tell me we are onto a new sound.
No, but half of the money is gone for it. So we're getting close to the end, like it or not here. $2,500, name that sound, but $740 is when we will play for it. And who knows, today could be that lucky, magical day that we have all been waiting for. And again, like I recorded a bunch of sounds. I would love to play some of the other ones for you too, instead of just sound one here. But we'll find out. $740 for $2,500. We're also asking you today too, because well, CTV just did the article of the most expensive house listings throughout Saskatchewan, and what they included in them were amazing. Like one had a full basketball court into the basement. So we're asking today, money's no object. You get to put anything you like in your house, your dream house. What are you going with? You can text over to 54321.
It's official. Taylor Swift has written an original song for Toy Story 5. I Knew It, I Knew You will drop Friday ahead of the film's debut June 19th. Taylor said on Instagram, I've always dreamed of getting to write for these characters who I've adored since I was a 5-year-old kid watching the first Toy Story movie. Anna Kendrick is returning to the director's chair. She'll take the helm of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, based on the novel by Daisy Jones and the Six author Taylor Jenkins Reid. Kendrick made her directorial debut with 2024's Woman of the Hour. Here's a perfect family outing. The new edition of Cat Video Fest is headed to theaters for a limited run beginning August 6th. A portion of ticket proceeds benefits local cat-focused charities, animal welfare groups, and shelters. Check locations and showtimes at catvideofest.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
We kick things off with a little cookie time.
Love cookie. Love cookie. Love cookie. Love cookie. I want a cookie. You want a cookie.
It's the best part of the day. 2-year-old Danny was tasked with telling everyone that the cookies were ready, and boy did he. Banged on every door, yelled down every hallway until everyone knew.
That's a kid that knows how to get the job done.
Yep. Understood the assignment.
Everyone knows.
Understood the assignment.
All right. Well, for those who have ever needed a pedicure in a pinch, problem solved. Take a look.
Oh.
でもこれ履くだけでネイルしてる風になるの天才すぎた。よーく見たらわかるけど。
Toe socks.
It's a Japanese company. They have the right product for you. Check out these nylons that have the toes painted for you already. All you have to do is put them on, walk out the door.
Don't know how many times I've been confronted with this problem. Finally, a little therapy for a furry friend.
Oh, this is so good for the spine for a long back dog.
Apparently he loves it. I don't know if his face necessarily says so. Nostradamus is the name of this dog. It's a 5-year-old Borzoi?
I don't know.
Oh, I've never heard that breed before. Who is enjoying his aquatics therapy. Watch his ways back and forth with his trainer.
Very calm. He seems to be enjoying it.
All right. It's a dog's world. We're going to take a time out. We'll be right back after this. Welcome to Tuesday, June 2nd.
We established a line on the north side, so we'll continue to bolster that and make sure that our line holds.
Crews are trying hard to prevent 2 fast-growing wildfires from reaching the North Saskatchewan River.
I think this speaks to an organization that's under siege as opposed to a government that's interested in being accountable and transparent.
The Saskatchewan NDP claims the provincial government is going to new lengths to hide details of a plan to refurbish coal-fired power plants.
Saskatchewan has the highest child poverty rate of all the provinces.
The cost of living is pushing more Canadians toward food banks, and according to a new report, this is not a temporary squeeze. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Tuesday.
Very groggy. It was chaos yesterday at the trampoline park.
Well, at
Dale's
least
5th birthday party.
At least you said it was the right day to go.
Yeah, they did not get trampled. I asked the person, said, "What? Monday's a weird day." They said, "What day do I do where these kids aren't going to get trampled?" They said, "Monday's your night." And boy, were they right.
My invite must have gotten lost in the mail.
I have lots of cake left over.
Okay,
Feel
well,
free to
I
eat all
accept.
that. All
I
right,
accept.
7:01. Let's get to your news. And it begins with this. A manhunt is over after a deadly shooting rocked a small community in northern Saskatchewan. The remote northern community of Pelican Narrows is reeling after a shooting near the local health clinic left one person dead and another injured. RCMP say a suspect was taken into custody late Monday, nearly 6 hours after residents in the community, about 500 kilometers northeast of Saskatoon, were told to shelter in place. Officials say for safety reasons, schools and the local band office will be closed for the rest of the week. As wildfire season has made its way back to Saskatchewan, currently 2 uncontained fires threatening communities. Hallie Mandrick with the very latest.
One RM is under evacuation orders, while others are on standby waiting for updates as wildfires threaten a number of Saskatchewan communities.
Well, it's everyone south of Shellbrook that's evacuated for now, and the hamlet of Holbein is on alert. SPSA is going to let us know if the fire gets too close, and then we will action that evacuation.
About 130 people have been evacuated from the RM of Shellbrook after a notice was posted on Friday evening. While the town of Shellbrook is not currently under an evacuation notice, the community's Elks Hall is currently serving as a check-in center for those to the south who had to leave their homes. As much of the province was under an extreme heat warning last week, one expert says recent weather conditions have not helped the situation.
The higher the temperature, the lower the humidity, the more fires tend to start acting more, aggressive. You throw in some wind there, and you've got yourself a very bad combination.
The blaze impacting the Shellbrook area is called the Lobstick Fire, and it's one of 2 significant uncontained fires currently threatening Saskatchewan communities. The second being the Cayford Fire, which has resulted in evacuations in the eastern part of the province and into Manitoba.
We're not predicting the fire to impact any other communities other than perhaps smoke. So depending on the wind conditions, the smoke might affect surrounding communities. But we established a line on the north side, so we'll continue to bolster that and make sure that our line holds.
Lang says, while some of southern Saskatchewan is seeing precipitation, much of the next month is not expected to offer reprieve as wildfire season settles into the province.
The forecast for the month of June has a better probability across the entire province that it's going to be warmer than average. So I think people should buckle up for that and just know what to expect, that it is coming.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Officials in Calgary are warning people to be careful around the Bow and Elbow River as rainfall warnings continue.
We're asking Calgarians for their help to stay away from the riverbanks. Please avoid activities on the river right now. Let's do everything that we can to keep our first responders safe.
Officials are stressing this is not the same situation as the devastating 2013 floods, but the river's flow is still well above safe levels, running twice its usual rate. Another 20 to 50 millimeters of rain could fall in Calgary today, adding to the 50 to 100 that has already fallen. Saskatoon Fire Department says it could be months, even years, before we know the cause of that fire that destroyed 4 homes last week, if we even get an answer at all. 4 homes and 6 garages burned to the ground in Saskatoon's Hampton Village neighborhood Friday, with the temperature around 30 degrees and the wind at about 30 km an hour. The fire department says because of the busy weekend with fires elsewhere and the size of this one, the investigation will take plenty of time. The investigator needs to interview everyone living in the destroyed homes, witnesses, and review photos and videos. The deputy fire chief says everyone was insured, no one needed emergency housing, and an excavator has now leveled the homes to make sure it doesn't reignite. By the time the fire was out, 20 properties had some form of damage.
Still under investigation at this time. I will say we will be very factual and thorough before we give a cause and origin determination, but at the end of the day it may also be an undetermined. So that is a fact of fire investigations based on what is seeing.
At this point, nothing is being ruled out. Advocates have initiated a letter-writing campaign to keep the Snowbirds Air Demonstration Squadron in the air. On May 19th, the federal government, as you know, announced the Snowbirds will be grounded at the end of this air show season while it searches for and procures a new aircraft for the team, replacing the aging Tudor jets. Honorary Snowbirds point to the pandemic when Snowbirds were a signal of support to Canadians and say it's now the time to return support to the squadron.
You don't know what you got till it's gone. Well, we're getting pretty close to having it gone. And if there's ways for that not to happen, then all Canadians need to take that to heart.
They're urging all Canadians to write to their local MP. We will have the mayor of Moose Jaw on the show at 8:40 this morning. Canada Post workers have accepted a new contract ending years-long labor disputes. The union, representing about 55,000 workers, says employees voted more than 85% in favor of the new 5-year deal. It includes wage increases of 6.5% and 3% in the first 2 years. It also locks in hikes that match the annual inflation rate in years 3 through 5. In a statement, Canada Post thanked businesses and Canadians for their patience, saying it will work hard to regain your trust after years of disruptions. Police are calling it the largest seizure of counterfeit soccer jerseys in Canadian history. And for fans, you may have bought a fake.
So folks are walking into retail stores thinking that they're buying an authentic piece of, say, a jersey or sporting equipment. They're paying full price as they would if it was authentic, but they're getting a fake counterfeit.
Toronto police seized more than 16,000 fake jerseys and 2 World Cup trophies with a value of more than $3.5 million. According to police, the jerseys were being sold to legitimate retailers as authentic. Investigators say the items came from a Mania trading company in Mississauga. Police conducted a search on May 26th and 2 men were arrested. They are now facing multiple charges, including fraud over $5,000 and scheduled to appear in court in August. Drivers across the province being reminded to slow down and stay alert this month. It's part of SGI's latest traffic safety spotlight. So SGI hosted its 4th Slow Down to 60 road safety event to reinforce the message that drivers must slow down to 60 when passing emergency or service vehicles stopped on the side of the road to help someone else with their lights on. Officials say there have been too many close calls.
If you got somebody coming past you and you're working on the side of the road and they're coming past you at 100 kilometers an hour, very dangerous situation. So these guys are doing important work out there, to make sure everybody is safe, not only for the community, but for, themselves as well.
When we're asked to go out and do a call, we're looking to help somebody that's having a bad day and make their day better. We also want everybody to go home safe. And I guess the message I have is please just slow down, move over, and let everybody go home safe. Because if something happens, it's not just us, it's also you.
Just so you know, the baseline fine for anyone going over 60 kilometers per hour in the presence of an emergency or service vehicle operator is $170 with additional fines per kilometer over the speed limit. Also demerits in there as well. Every good interview needs a soundtrack like that. That got me going. How about this? A sunrise in Humboldt Lake, Saskatchewan, thanks to the Howe family, Kayleen.
All the sunrise photos this morning, and it really is beautiful. A beautiful photo there. It was a beautiful sunrise outside this morning in Regina. If you have any of those pictures, make sure you send them in to us to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. Let's turn our attention back outside here. We are still seeing just a few of those heat warnings still in effect in the north, specifically the northeast part of the province there. That should be ending by tomorrow. Seeing some rainfall warnings over in Alberta. Of course, we've been talking this morning about all that rain that they got over in Alberta since Saturday. Now, they are going to be getting a little bit more of that rain today. We've already been seeing some rain so far this morning, specifically a lot of that down south. Also seeing a little bit of it up north, but mainly we're seeing that thunderstorm activity down through the southeast corner of the province, right around Estevan. A lot of that rain that they're going to be seeing for the day has already fallen, but they still will get just a few more millimeters by the end of the day. Also expecting to see some of that thunderstorm activity near Prince Albert later on into the afternoon. This is at about 4:45 p.m. and we're still going to continue to see some very light light rain down through the southwest corner of the province as well. Into overnight, still seeing that right around Saskatoon and Prince Albert. Swift Current going to be seeing some more of that by the morning, and Regina as well going to be getting some more of that light drizzle tomorrow afternoon. We are seeing a lot of this clearing up by Thursday. Still seeing just a little bit of it down through the southwest corner of the province. Other than that, though, we're just talking about more of that cloud cover towards the eastern part of the province there. Now, the number for total rainfall expected by the end of the day has gone down dramatically in Estevan. So now we're only expecting about 2 more millimeters by the end of the day today. Yorkton, though, take a look at that number. We're expecting about 20 millimeters of rain by the end of the day falling there. 7 millimeters now on tap for Prince Albert, 3 millimeters for Saskatoon, 2 for the Battlefords, and 1 for Swift Current. Again, these numbers have been fluctuating quite a bit this morning, so we'll keep you updated on those. When it comes to temperatures, it's mainly right around that seasonal average, other than the cooler temperatures down through the southwest with all that cloud cover. Swift Current 13 degrees today, 18 degrees in Moose Jaw, 20 degrees for Regina, 22 in Saskatoon, and 21 degrees on tap for Yorkton. We're also talking about the continuation of those higher wind gusts today. We could be seeing them up to about 40 to 45 kilometers per hour for those areas that are lighting up in yellow. Other than that, all those areas lighting up in blue, we'll be seeing them right around 30 kilometers per hour. Seeing some more of that precipitation in our rural forecast, coming with the risk of some thunderstorms. Spiritwood 20 degrees with that risk, 21 in Melfort, and 18 degrees in Wynyard. Down in the south, seeing temperatures cooler through the southwest corner of the province today. East End 10 degrees, Maple Creek only 12, 16 degrees in Assiniboia with that cloud cover, and more of that risk of a thunderstorm down through the southeast. Carlisle 22 degrees. Let's take a look at Govan, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from Sasktel. 20 degrees this afternoon. Risk of a thunderstorm coming with winds up to 40 kilometers per hour.
Our most caring, Mike Siona, is with local companies that care. Teach us a little bit, Mike.
Yeah, I certainly will. In fact, it's all about the local business community connecting with different charities. And this morning, Chris Sikorsky joins us. We've been chatting all about this. What is Local Companies That Care?
9 years running, Mike. It's exactly what it sounds like, right? So Saskatoon businesses contributing back to Saskatoon charities, right? So we're a membership group, and collective giving is such a powerful thing, right? So small businesses, we can only move the needle so much, but when we come together for an awesome night of connection and celebration and awareness, we can really move the needle and support local charities through donations. So we're a week away from our big event.
There you go. It is next Tuesday. It's right here at LB Distillers. I've got Dave Shanks and Will Kay from Straight Up, one of the 3 that are pitching. Tell us, the executive director, by the way, Dave, tell us what exactly Straight Up is and does.
Yeah, Straight Up's been around for about 20 years in Saskatoon, and we're also in Prince Albert. And Straight Up exists to help people leave the street criminal, gang, and addiction lifestyle.
Now, Will, you're a member and going through exactly that process and also working with the organization. Tell us your story.
My story starts with being a loving parent, being a faithful partner, as well as being a responsible citizen within the program.
And that's exactly what the program is aimed towards, right? Is those kind of 3 pillars. How challenging is it to make that transition?
It is very challenging, but it is doable. Throughout the time that you're there, you stay focused on your goals and your conditions, and you become successful.
And then from your standpoint, Dave, what would community support to help you guys out mean, and just this awareness piece as well?
Yeah, we're always reaching to expand our services. We want to be able to meet members where they're at, and just constantly ensure that we're in the best position to help our members succeed in their healing journey.
Absolutely incredible stuff. There you go. Straight Up. If you hadn't heard of them, there's a 90-second pitch for you. If you're a business owner, get out here to LB Distillers next Tuesday night, June the 9th, and bring your wallet.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much. We'll do it again.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it,
we head to Edmonton. International friendly, Canada taking on Uzbekistan. Second half stoppage time, Canada up 1-0 off the turnover. Tani Aloisei slides it to Jaden Nelson, and he buries it. Nelson looking to grab the last spot on Canada's World Cup roster, and that is your must-see moment from Monday. And today on TSN, we've got quarterfinal action from Roland Garros. Coverage starts at 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
It turns out there are more than just tourists flocking to Venice. The floating city scientists have noticed flamingos are starting to return to Venice's lagoons. City's canals get all the headlines, but the Venice lagoons are vital to keeping local ecosystems in balance. Erosion has taken its toll, as we know, over the years. The flamingos are a sign rebuilding efforts are actually working. These birds only show up when there is enough to eat. Flamingos are pink because of all the shrimp that they eat.
I did know that.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
The flamingo population in Venice has been going up for 20 years now.
Have you ever traveled somewhere and seen a wild flamingo?
No.
It kind of takes you off guard. I went to Curacao on my honeymoon, and there was just flamingos on the side of the road once, and it throws you off. You're like, is that a flamingo?
Shouldn't that be in a well-manicured zoo?
Yeah. I was like, wait.
We're talking about most valuable items lost in our question of the day. Apparently, Saskatchewan is the most forgetful city. Regina is number 3 on junk that's left in Ubers.
Yeah, and people were leaving fish in Ubers. They were leaving goalie pads.
Yikes.
So yeah, we're asking you, what's the most valuable item you've ever lost?
What, Michelle?
Michelle's saying, I lost a $100 coin. It was given to me by my father. So really it was the sentimental part that bothered her.
Yeah, did you get it back? I want to know.
I don't think so. No.
Oh, that's good.
Darren saying I lost my mind at a Metallica concert in '93. He also added that he never got it back.
There's going to be a few that lose their mind at the Foo Fighters coming up on Mosaic Stadium this fall.
We want to hear from you, though. What's the most valuable item that you've ever lost? And did you ever find it, or is it still just gone? Text us at 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or you can scan that QR code on your screen.
I'm still searching for my sanity.
The sale of Allied Gold to China's Zijin Gold International has cleared another hurdle. The deal has been approved by Canada's Investment Canada Act. Zijin is offering $44 Canadian per share, valuing the acquisition at about $5.5 billion. India is seeking deeper uranium supply ties with Canada and is willing to purchase significantly larger volumes of the nuclear fuel to support its ambitious plans for expansion. India's High Commissioner to Canada, Dinesh Patnaik, indicated that New Delhi would be prepared to buy all the uranium that Canadian producer Cameco could supply, and was also interested in exploring investment opportunities in Canadian uranium mining projects. This according to the Calgary Herald. Anthropic PBC has confidentially submitted draft paperwork for a public listing, potentially leapfrogging longtime rival OpenAI in the race toward a Wall Street debut as soon as the fall. The number of shares to be offered and the price have not yet been set, the company said in a blog post on Monday. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, time for your morning mystery. Today we are told it is an animal. 3 clues if you've never seen this before. You can play along at home. Clue number 1, this animal communicates using whistles, yelps, growls, and screams. Okay, it's my daughter. They can stay underwater for up to 8 minutes. Okay, maybe it's my son. They have short legs, webbed feet, a narrow body, and long, strong tail, all of which help them swim.
Okay.
Producers, is it a flat tail?
That's where my mind's going.
Okay, you're going to go that way. I'm going to go this way then. Then one of us will be right. What did you do? You did
I'm guessing
I was thinking beaver. Okay, so otter. That's the only other one I can think of. Otter? Where are we at?
Oh.
The North American river otter. Half points?
Yeah, you'll get half points. I get
quarter points.
0.
I got one of the 4 words.
Okay.
That's your morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Here's a look at your school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at 12 degrees right now, 13 degrees through Saskatoon with a mix of sun and cloud in both cities. By lunchtime in Regina, 19 degrees, also 19 degrees in Saskatoon, although we're expecting to see a bit more of that very light precipitation through lunchtime in Regina, and it's coming later, around final bell for Saskatoon. 22 degrees is that high for Saskatoon and 20 degrees for Regina. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. That average price hasn't changed. It's $169.9, but you might be able to find it for as low as $145.9. In Saskatoon, also $169.9 for the average price today. You might be able to find it for as low as $155.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola at $734.65 per ton. The futures price $766.60 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat $284.19 per ton. The Canadian dollar has not changed. It's still at 72.47 cents US. When we come back, more highlights from Canada's first World Cup tune-up. Stay with us.
Good morning. Just about 7:30 on this beautiful Tuesday. Let's get to your headlines. The Saskatchewan NDP is accusing the provincial government of going to new lengths to hide details of a plan to refurbish coal plants. Last month, the opposition released leaked documents that suggest the cost of the plan could be more than Sask Power initially projected, something Sask Power CEO says is misleading. Now, the NDP says the Crown Corporation is taking steps to block the further release of information. Wayne Mantika reports.
NDP MLA Elena Young has a blank page of redacted information that she has received from Sask Power. She says it was Sask Power's response to her latest Freedom of Information request regarding coal-fired power plant refurbishment.
We have another tranche of blacked out documents from Sask Power.
Initially, Sask Power estimated the capital cost of refurbishing aging coal-fired power plants in Estevan and Coronach at just under $1 billion. That number was later revised to $2.6 billion until a Sask Power employee leaked information to the NDP suggesting the cost could run much higher.
Closer to the $11.4 billion capital cost contained in the leaked Sask Power board documents.
The NDP say Sask Power is now taking steps to block the leak of further information.
I've heard there's a bit of a witch hunt taking place at the moment. I've heard there are efforts being made to stymie further leaks, document tracing, watermarking all sorts of documents and files within Sask Power. I think this speaks to an organization that's under siege.
Sask Power had no response to the NDP's latest allegations, but earlier had voiced disapproval over internal documents being leaked. It said various scenarios are considered from time to time, but should not be confused with government direction or policy. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a proclamation making changes to certain tariffs on metals, including steel and aluminum, along with copper imports. According to the White House, the adjusted tariffs will drop from 25% to 15%. This tariff would mostly affect agricultural products, equipment, in a move to help farmers facing higher costs because of the Iran war. The order will also allow foreign companies to qualify for a 10% duty rate if their equipment contains at least 85% American steel or aluminum. Changes take effect next Monday and will remain in place until the end of 2027. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will be in Washington today, set to meet with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. Officials' talks between Ottawa and Washington, they've yet to start. Ahead of that mandatory review of the North American Trade Agreement, the U.S. and Mexico wrapped up their first round of bilateral talks just last week. Workers at a local Saskatoon restaurant are among those displaced by Friday's Hampton Village fire. The fire destroyed 4 homes in the Crescent in Saskatoon. This restaurant's owner says 2 of the workers escaped with only the clothes on their back, running out of the fire without their shoes on. He says they lost everything, including passports, clothing, and personal belongings.
They gave me a video call, but they were all crying. Everybody was crying because they lost their passports and everything. And not just that, documents and jewelry and valuables are apart from the memories, right, which they accumulated in that house for the last 2 years.
The restaurant has now launched a GoFundMe page. South Korean defense company Hanwha is promising to use Canadian steel to build armored military vehicles, but there is a catch.
The economic activity that comes from that deal for automotive is the equivalent of 1 new car plant here. And so what that means is probably 15,000 direct jobs.
Hanwha is promising the military vehicle deal only if it wins the bid to build Canada's new submarine fleet. The move would significantly strengthen Canada's auto industry, as Hanwha already has thousands of orders for the armored vehicles. Prime Minister Mark Carney has said the winner of the submarine bid will be announced by the end of June, before the deadline for reviewing the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement. It's between Hanwha and a competing proposal from a German company. An early look at a potential bill for Alberta if it chose to leave Canada shows it would be expensive.
We now have a 5% NATO commitment. We've never had a national defense before. What would that cost? That's about $25 billion. We'd have to take over OAS and child tax benefit, probably another $10 or $15 billion. We'd have to set up the infrastructure for CPP and EI.
It would cost hundreds of billions of dollars for Alberta to separate from Canada, and that's only what Premier Daniel Smith knows so far. Alberta's government says the province's share of the national debt is around $170 billion, with $10 billion annual interest payments made. Provincial Finance Minister Jason Nixon is expected to have a cost analysis in August ahead of that referendum in October. A white supremacist rally held over the weekend in Quebec has drawn widespread condemnation.
I mean, it's suitable and it's totally unacceptable.
We just don't accept that. It's not what we are.
About 20 people wearing masks showed up in Shawinigan holding a sign with a racist message. No one has come out saying they organized the rally. People who saw it say the rally lasted about 20 minutes. Quebec's premier wrote on a letter on social media, "I condemn the strongest possible terms the gathering held in Shawinigan and the racist messages conveyed there." Provincial police are now investigating. Florida has become the first state to sue OpenAI and its CEO Sam Altman, accusing the company of misrepresenting the safety of the ChatGPT platform.
For endangering our kids and deceiving parents into believing that this application is safe for use. It's clearly not.
The lawsuit cites a deadly shooting at a Tallahassee university last year and a number of other events where ChatGPT allegedly provided information to people who went on to carry out violence. The lawsuit accuses OpenAI of deceptive and unfair trade practices, negligence, and violating product liability laws. Florida's legal action comes after a month after 7 lawsuits were filed against OpenAI by families of victims in the mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC. Both the company and CEO Sam Altman are accused of ignoring the shooter's troubling interactions with the platform. 8 people were killed, 6 children, when a teen opened fire at a high school last February. As electric-made vehicles from China start arriving in Canada, Public Safety Canada urging you to be mindful of the privacy risks associated with the digital devices they buy and use. It says data from an advanced electric vehicle that falls into the wrong hands could be used to track people or conduct surveillance. Now, the memo says there are already some important guardrails in place, but others need more development and implementation to manage and minimize the risks. Uber has now released its 2026 Lost and Found Index, offering a look at the items left behind by riders in vehicles across Canada over the past year. Smartphones, as you'd imagine, wallets, bags, those top the list of the most commonly forgotten items. Uber says some riders left behind some more unusual things, among them 15-pound frozen turkey, an aquarium, fish and supplies. That happened in Toronto. A full set of goalie pads in Edmonton. Don't know how you lose USOs, and a violin hard case in Montreal. Uber says Saskatoon is the most forgetful city in Canada. Regina is in third. Honorable mentions to Windsor, Victoria, and St. John's. For kids who aren't old enough to drive a truck yet, this might be the next best thing. There you go. Kids have the chance to do pretty much everything but drive at this weekend's Torch and Truck event in Ottawa. There were more than 40 trucks for kids to check out, from big rigs to tractors to military vehicles. The show aims to teach kids how big jobs get done with some hands-on learning. How hyped are Canadians for the World Cup? Well, about 46,000 braved bad conditions in Edmonton.
Osorio drives it in. Jonathan Osorio with the goal to give Canada the lead in Edmonton.
All right, so Canada opened the scoring in the second half when Jonathan Osorio scored from the right box. Team Canada added another goal in stoppage time to seal the victory 2-0. Scary moment. There was one injury. Doesn't look to be too severe. Canada has one tune-up game left on Friday against Ireland in Montreal. To the Weather Center we go. No contest, no code words, just clear skies, I hope.
No, not clear skies.
I said I hope.
Yeah, well, keep hoping. We're talking about cloud cover to start your day, and a whole lot of it, not just in southern Saskatchewan, also through central Saskatchewan today as well. 12 degrees to wake you up in Regina, winds coming in at 26 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, again, talking about a whole lot of cloud cover. We're starting to see just a little bit of very light drizzle in the area. That's going to likely continue on through the afternoon hours with some breaks in between. 13 degrees right now to wake you up, and winds coming in at 17 kilometers per hour. So we talked about Regina and Saskatoon. Now let's take a look at everywhere else in the province. La Ronge has remained pretty consistently our hotspot throughout this morning. 16 degrees right now. Surrounding areas, Buffalo Narrows, Stony Rapids, South End, all at 8 degrees. 13 in Prince Albert, 14 degrees to wake you up in Melfort and Hudson Bay. 15 degrees in Nipawin. Down in the south, still seeing that cold spot as East End, 9 degrees. 11 degrees to wake you up in Swift Current and Moose Jaw. 11 as well in Weyburn, and 15 degrees right now for Yorkton. This is going to continue on into our afternoon hours, where we're seeing the warmer temperatures surrounding the southwest corner, but the southwest corner is going to be that one area that's far below the seasonal average today. 13 degrees for Swift Current, 20 degrees for Regina, and 22 for Saskatoon later on. So those are right around that seasonal average. 21 for Yorkton and 23 for Estevan. We've been seeing a lot of that precipitation throughout the overnight hours and early this morning around Estevan, but the risk of seeing a thunderstorm will go down the farther we get into our day. Still seeing it into the afternoon hours, though, in areas right around Prince Albert. The amount of rain has gone down for areas around Estevan, so now we're only seeing about 1 more millimeter by the end of the day there. Other than that, though, Yorkton still expecting about 19 more millimeters of rain by the end of the day. 7 millimeters now expected for Prince Albert, 3 for Saskatoon, 2 millimeters for the Battlefords, and about 1 millimeter for Swift Current. You're seeing the numbers set at 0 for Moose Jaw and Regina. Still could be seeing some very light spitting of some rain, just not any high accumulations. Temperatures dropping slightly tomorrow to 19 degrees. Again, talking about that risk of seeing some of that rain. 23 degrees by Thursday, 25 by Friday with the sun coming out. Saturday, break in the afternoon with a mix of sun and cloud with that nice high of 30 degrees, but we could be seeing some of that rain in the early morning and later evening. 18 degrees tomorrow in Saskatoon, 23 by Thursday, 24 on Friday, a mix of sun and cloud, and the rain returning for Saturday.
It's the midnight sun kiss, get under the red sky, laying on your chest like this. Hold me like the pebbles in your hand, initials in the sand. Yeah, summer isn't over yet. I don't wanna talk down ever. I don't wanna be a homewrecker. I just know it can be better, be better, be better. I could be the twist, the one to make you stop. The icing on your cake, the cherry on the top. It's heaven in my heart, and we could find you some space.
Well, it's time to meet our pet of the week. Usually we're talking about a cat or a dog, but Bill, what do we have with us today?
Well, this morning we have a lovely little lady named Stella. We don't know exactly how old she is, but she is an adult guinea pig, very, very calm and actually quite friendly as guinea pigs can be. They make very, very nice pets, especially if you got young kids and stuff. They make a good first pet. They're very gentle. They can be a little chatty with squeaks and that kind of thing, but usually they're full of personality and are really, really fun to have. Sometimes they do better with having a same-sex companion. They do like to be very social. They're very social animals, like to have buddies to hang around with as well. And they'll get very excited when they see you, or if you're bringing them treats. They can be quite active as well, and so on and so forth. So something that you can easily look after. They're not a whole lot of work and easy to take care of, and we encourage you to have a look.
Do you often have other animals in addition to cats and dogs, like rabbits and guinea pigs, etc.?
Yeah, we do. I mean, most of it, the animals we have are canine or feline, but we do get rabbits and guinea pigs and sometimes budgies and birds of various types as well. So we do have those. They seem to come in waves for some reason. We'll be, a few weeks without any, and then all of a sudden we'll have a bunch. But you can check our website on a daily basis to see what we do have, because it is up to date in real time.
Well, lots to choose from, but I do want to highlight one in particular. It is National Adopt a Cat Month. How are we celebrating?
Well, we're trying to get all the cats we have home, and that would be cause for great celebration. We do have a high number. We're into what we call kitten season. We're starting to see those litters come in of cats and little kittens, and it is that time when they get out and about more and start making little ones. So do encourage you again to check out our website if you've been thinking about adopting a cat. They're awesome pets as well, and we'd love to see you pay us a visit.
As always, there's also other ways that people can work to support the Regina Humane Society, including that Friends for Life lottery on now. What can we do?
Yeah, we've opened up ticket sales for that. The draw is in early September, and you can get in on the early bird by August the 6th. You could win up to $10,000 or win $10,000 in our grand prize draw, and the early bird draw is after, I think, on the 7th of August, and you can win $5,000 there, and there's lots of smaller prizes as well. And every penny that we raise with that goes to help little guys and girls like Stella here when they're in our care for hopefully not a very long time as we get them home to their new forever home.
All right, thank you so much, Bill, as always, and good luck to Stella on finding her forever home.
You bet. Thanks.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Assiniboia Garage and Yard Sale is happening June 6th throughout Assiniboia. Call 306-640-8800. Pony Express on the Prairies is happening June 6th at 10 a.m., starting in the town of Francis and ending in Fillmore. Call 306-861-7136. An old-time dance is happening June 6th at 7:30 p.m. at the Hazel Dell Recreation Center. Call 306-547-4284. And Show and Shine is on June 7th at 11 a.m. at the A&W on Albert Street and Avonhurst Drive. Call 306-537-0675. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, click Community Calendar, or scan the QR code on your screen. It's June 2nd, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to these twins, Jamie and Jessica. They're turning 41 today. We hope your day is super special, with love from your mom and dad, Donna and Rick. Happy 15th birthday to Lantana. Wishing you so much love on your special day, with love from your mom. And happy birthday to Emily. We hope you have a great day celebrating, with love from your partner, Brooke, and all your friends and family.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
An evening of community impact is nearly upon us. Janelle Lippi getting all the details for us this morning. Jael?
Good morning. I am joined once again by Chelsea here. Now, we have been talking all things Gift of Giving Gala. Those tickets are on sale. Tell me a little bit about where all these funds go.
Yeah, so we support 3 organizations this year. The first one being Lincoln's Life Mattered Foundation, which is a newly established organization as well through Rick and Debbie West, in loving memory of their son Lincoln. They help provide mental health resources to youth in schools and around the province, so we really enjoy supporting them. We also support Dragonfly Family and Wellness Center, which provides counseling services to families and youth, and also in between that transition period from, let's say, if they're at school or if they've been in the mental health and detox unit at the hospital, they can kind of bridge that gap where we don't have the funding or the availability to help children. And then the last organization we help support is the Hospitals of Regina Foundation, their mental health and detox unit for youth and children in the province. They support 10 beds, but that is provincially, and anything we can do to kind of help support them and access to beds or anything that kids need, that's where these funds go to.
All right, so really huge resources here that all of this goes to. For the people watching here, how can they get some tickets and be a part of this?
Yeah, they can contact us either on our social media pages, the Gift of Giving Gala on Instagram and Facebook, as well as visit us online at thegiftofgivinggala.ca. We have tables available, tickets available, sponsorship packages available, and any way anybody wants to get involved, we would love to have you.
Wonderful. Chelsea, thank you so much for this. And once again, those tickets are on sale. Make sure you're getting your hands on some before they're all out.
Okay, by now, seriously, they've checked the website. They know the guesses.
We had a fresh guess here.
Okay.
Jamie guessed an old school cigarette machine that was operated by coin. That was not it. It was digging way back. A little bit of a hint I can give you for a name that sound is we do record the sounds ourselves. I have no idea where I would find that. So that was not the answer. Another $50 into the pot and $25.50 to play with Brandon this afternoon at 4:40. On top of that contest, though, our new favorite one that we are rolling through right now, just because the singing has been very special, very unique anyway. Off key for VIP for some Country Thunder passes, and then a chance to have those upgrade to platinum is going on right now. So if you're listening with the iHeartRadio app, there's the little microphone on there. You hit that. It's the talkback feature, and then sing us any of your favorite Country Thunder artists, and we're going to pick someone on Friday to get passes, and then those could get upgraded.
I'm very serious when I say this. Can you clip those out and send those to me? And I will air them. I will absolutely air those.
There's more Kara Whitcomb than I anticipated, and less Creed than I thought, but the contest is early.
Yeah, fair enough. Get it on into the iHeartRadio app. Chase, thank you.
Thanks, Daryl.
The Tony Awards have announced a special performance ahead of Sunday's show. Tony host Pink will be joined by Queen Latifah, Whitney Levitt, Julianne Hough, Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and more to honor the musical Chicago's historic 30-year run.
Multi-million-dollar homes, but we never really know what's happening behind closed doors.
Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have executive produced a new docu-series for Hulu. Squatters Get the F Out of My House is a 6-part series that tells the stories of ordinary people and the squatters living rent-free on their property. The series premieres on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus on June 4th. Disney is the parent company of Hulu, Disney Plus, and ABC News. Anna Kendrick is stepping into a new role. ABC Audio has confirmed that Kendrick will direct the upcoming Netflix film, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. The film will be adapted from the best-selling novel of the same name. And happy birthday to Dana Carvey, who is 71 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
What do you got for us?
All right, well, a little therapy for a furry friend.
Oh, this is so good for the spine for a long back dog.
So he does love it, clearly.
Really? Clearly?
I mean, look, he's not fighting it.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, so this is a 5-year-old pup. He's enjoying his aquatics therapy. He's swaying back and forth with his trainer. Apparently, it is really good for dogs with long backs. Just like this, very good boy.
Aquatic therapy is good for almost everybody. For those who have needed a pedicure in a pinch, who hasn't, really? I have always said that. Problem solved.
でもこれ履くだけでネイルしてる風になるの天才すぎた。
company,
Toe socks.
yeah, this company's provided you some toe socks with some built-in painted nails.
What year is it? Do you remember when toe socks were so cool?
Toe socks, toe shoes.
Yeah.
Toe shoes had a little run in the late 2010s.
You know what? I'll give it up to them.
Early
They
2010s.
look pretty normal once they're fully on.
I guess.
I guess.
Sure. Why not?
All right.
Are we out of time?
We get one more. Director Corey says, let's take a look at this cookie time kid.
It's Director Corey.
Yes.
Which
he
is
just
great.
wanted to show this video.
He just wanted to show home movies.
He just loves cookies.
He does. He is the cookie
Now
monster.
he's saying time to go.
Yeah. Corey loved cookie. It's Tuesday, June 2nd.
We established a line on the north side, so we'll continue to bolster that and make sure that our line holds.
Crews are trying hard to prevent two fast-growing wildfires from reaching the North Saskatchewan River.
You don't know what you got till it's gone. Well, we're getting pretty close to having it gone, and if there's ways for that not to happen, then all Canadians need to take that to heart.
We're continuing to follow the latest on the snowbirds. We've got a conversation later this hour with the mayor of Moose Jaw. Drivers across the province being reminded to slow down and stay alert. We'll tell you why. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Tuesday.
You said rain is on the way.
Rain is on the way. We've already started to see some of that rain falling down south overnight and into this morning, but we're going to have more later on and the risk of a thunderstorm as well.
Time to plan those indoor child activities. 8:01, we begin with some sadder news. A manhunt is, good news, I guess. A manhunt is now over after the deadly shooting that rocked the northern Saskatchewan community of Pelican Narrows. They're reeling after that shooting at a local health clinic, left one person dead, another injured. RCMP say a suspect was taken into custody late Monday, nearly 6 hours after residents of the community were told to shelter in place. Officials say for safety reasons, schools and band office will be closed for the rest of the week. We'll continue to follow that. In the meantime, about 1,200 people are still out of their homes with two wildfires burning in northern Saskatchewan.
The higher the temperature, the lower the humidity, the more fires tend to start acting more, aggressive. You throw in some wind there, and you've got yourself a very bad combination.
People who were forced out are fleeing the K-Ford fire near the Manitoba border. The Lobstick fire near the community of Shellbrook forced 130 people out of their homes. The wildfire emergency advisory has now officially been extended for the hamlet of Holbein and areas south of Highway 3. People in those areas are being told to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. The Premier, who is from Shellbrook area, says crews are working hard to keep the fire from reaching the North Saskatchewan River, where there are farms running along the water. The Saskatchewan NDP are calling on the province to release an independent review of the 2025 wildfire season. Comes on the heels of the one-year anniversary of the Denair Beach fire. Consulting firm MNP was selected last October to conduct the review, which was originally expected to be done by now. But during the spring legislative session, the Community Safety Minister said the review had been granted an extension until the end of spring. The NDP says many questions remain unanswered, while the Premier says the report will be released as soon as they can.
We have serious questions about the fire response. We have serious questions about the communications coming from SPSA, from Red Cross, the financial supports, insurance issues. The list just goes on and on.
We'll release a report as soon as we're able, and if there's recommendations that are in that report, we're going to try to address them as quickly as possible.
Mo says the review could help inform a broader conversation about improving wildfire response and support for evacuees. The Saskatoon Fire Department says it's doing all it can to learn about a blaze that tore through a half block of homes in the Hampton Village neighborhood. Keenan Sorokon reports.
The Saskatoon Fire Department says an investigator is working to find the cause of a fire that destroyed 4 homes in Hampton Village last week, if we get any answer at all.
We will be very factual and thorough before we give a cause and origin determination, but at the end of the day, it may also be an undetermined. So that is a fact of fire investigations based on what is seeing.
Raymer says 20 properties were damaged in some way from Friday's fire that completely destroyed 4 homes, heavily damaged 2 others, and destroyed 6 garages. Raymer says no one needed emergency housing, with all homes having insurance, but with 20 orders to write, families and witnesses to interview, there is a lot of work to be done, and everything is on the table.
It's still under investigation, which means we haven't ruled in or ruled out any one of the causes.
With questions about building materials or homes being in close proximity to one another, Raymer says all national building codes were followed, and they're common across the country. The hot, dry, and windy conditions remain the biggest factors in the fire's rapid and devastating spread.
This, I would say, is the most devastating that we've seen, just based on the number of structures throughout the block.
With plenty of attention across the city on this fire, Raymer is staying out of the way. She says she doesn't want to lead the investigator or have him feeling pressured. She also said the investigator isn't working to find a cause as soon as possible, but as soon as practical. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Canada Post workers have accepted a new contract ending a years-long labor dispute. The union, representing about 55,000 workers, says employees voted more than 85% in favor of the new 5-year agreement. It includes wage increases of 6.5% and 3% in the first 2 years. It also locks in hikes that match the annual inflation rate in years 3 through 5. In a statement, Canada Post thanked Canadians and businesses for their patience, saying it will work hard to regain trust after all those disruptions. Drivers across Saskatchewan being reminded to slow down and stay alert this month. SGI hosted its 4th Slow Down to 60 road safety event to reinforce the message that drivers should slow down when passing emergency or service vehicles stopped on the side of the road with the lights flashing. Officials say too many close calls and preventable collisions continue to put first responders and stranded motorists alike at risk. In 2024 alone, there were 124 collisions involving emergency and service vehicles, resulting in injuries and 1 death. The excitement is brewing for this year's Stanley Pup, with a P, Pup. But this morning, the big question is, will lightning strike a 3rd time this year? ABC's Danny New got a behind-the-scenes look at this year's production.
After the puck drops for the Stanley Cup final tonight on ABC.
Toronto's Roughly, who steals the strongman. Score!
Next week, the National Hockey League will once again also host the Stanley Pup. For the 3rd year in a row, 32 adoptable rescue dogs, each representing one of the 32 NHL teams, will compete for the most prestigious trophy on ice. Well, actually,
it's not real ice, right?
Not real ice.
Okay. That wouldn't be fair, would it? Would it?
To get a behind-the-scenes look at the filming process, I skated over to the NHL headquarters in New York, definitely not to just go hold puppies.
The goal is to get pups adopted, and not all pups, older dogs too.
It's Knuckle Puck time!
Well, who better to help bring attention to little hockey stars than comedian Kenan Thompson, whose very first movie was D2, The Mighty Ducks.
They like each other, Kenan. Oh, we like that.
The SNL star will be serving as a celebrity coach for one of the teams.
Quack, quack. Quick.
And filmed most of his contributions from a green screen in New York, while the actual matches were taped the week prior in the nation's capital.
I hope you win. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you very much.
Show favoritism.
Yes, I mean, we'll see. As long as the dogs find homes, which is why we're really here, folks.
Speaking of which, while I was there...
What's he going to say when he gets waffle?
He's going to go, what?
NHL employee James here actually adopted this dog named Waffle because it was his son's birthday. And here is that special moment when 2 future co-captains became teammates.
Happy birthday, Gordon! Hi, buddy!
The Stanley Pup special premieres next Monday, June 8th. And by the way, plenty of the dogs are still up for adoption, which will come through the Brandywine Valley SPCA if you're interested. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
I think both are must-see TV, the game and the Stanley Pup.
I think anything to do with Danny New is must-see TV.
Fair. All right. Good, man. What's going on in the weather today?
We're talking about more of that rain. It's already been falling yesterday into overnight in some areas, and this morning down south is where we have been seeing it, right around Estevan, even seeing some of that storm activity coming in with all those colors. That is heading up to the Yorkton area, so we are going to be seeing a lot more of that in the coming hours. Also, what we're going to be seeing is a lot more of that cloud cover as well. It's a very cloudy start to the day out there this morning. The storm activity is mostly concentrated down in the southeast today, but we are seeing more of that rain through the southwest as well, right around Swift Current there. Into the afternoon hours, that storm activity is going to be tracked all the way up through Prince Albert. Saskatoon does have a chance of seeing some of that storm activity today, but it is lower. Mainly, we're just talking about the chance of seeing some of that light drizzle. Into overnight, still seeing some of that color on your screen with those reds and yellows there. So again, just a risk of that thunderstorm sticking with us overnight into tomorrow morning. Still seeing a lot of that green. So we're just seeing a lot of this precipitation kind of stopping and going all the way through until Thursday. A lot of the rain is clearing up on that day, seeing more of that cloud cover concentrating towards eastern Saskatchewan, bordering with Manitoba. Into Friday, we will be seeing some more of that precipitation returning, though. These numbers have been changing a lot this morning. Earlier on, we were seeing about 11 millimeters for Estevan on tap. That was at about 6 a.m. We've been seeing more of that precipitation falling since then, so of course that number has been steadily dropping, but now it is at 0. 19 millimeters still on tap for Yorkton, though. Again, we were just mentioning that storm is likely tracking up towards them there. 7 millimeters by the end of the day for Prince Albert, about 3 for Saskatoon, 2 for the Battlefords, and 1 millimeter for Swift Current. Just because you didn't see any rain accumulation in Regina doesn't mean we're not going to be seeing any today. There's a smaller chance of it, of course. It could just be a very light drizzle, a little bit of spitting. 22 degrees for Saskatoon, 20 degrees for Regina, 23 for Estevan, and 21 degrees on tap for Yorkton. We're also talking about more of those wind gusts today. Those have continued on from the past few days. Could be seeing them up to about 45 kilometers per hour in some areas. Temperatures dropping only slightly tomorrow to 19 degrees, 23 by Thursday, 25 by Friday. And some more rain is on the way for Saturday in Regina. That's mainly going to be in those overnight hours, but it could be starting a little bit earlier in Saskatoon. 18 degrees tomorrow, though, 23 by Thursday and 24 by Friday.
This day in history, June 2nd, 2015, Canada's Truth and Reconciliation Commission released the summary of its final report calling Canada's treatment of Indigenous peoples a cultural genocide. June 2nd, 1953, the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II took place at Westminster Abbey in London and was televised around the world. And June 2nd, 2006, 17 people were arrested in Toronto area on terrorism-related charges. And
biggest cheers from 50,000 fans go to the immortal star himself, Babe Ruth.
1935, then future Baseball Hall of Fame slugger Babe Ruth announced his retirement as a player at 40 years of age in 2,503 games split between the Braves, Red Sox, and Yankees. Yes, he played one season for the Braves. He amassed 2,873 hits, 714 home runs, and a .314 batting average, earning him the nickname of Sultan of Swat. Oh, and he was also a pitcher. The age-old question. What do you do if you find, maybe in the back of an Uber, because we saw that report, a wallet full of cash?
Well, you try to find the owner.
When I got home, I freaked. My wallet was gone, everything. I ripped everything out of my side saddles of my bag, my bike.
I don't know if everyone does that, Killian, but David Jacobson assumed his wallet was gone forever, along with the $500 inside. He looked everywhere for nearly 3 days and then found a note in his mailbox. His wallet had been found. Leo McIntosh picked it up along the same bike trail David had lost it. Two arranged to meet up, and along with the cash, David got back an unlikely friendship was also formed.
Wow, that's beautiful. This reminds me of that time around Christmas time where I found a wallet full of cash in a grocery store parking lot in the East End, and I returned it. I returned it to. They had an ID, and so I saw their address. So I drove all the way to the North End in a blizzard to get this because it was right before Christmas.
Knocked on the door and
knocked on the door. They took it and said thanks and slammed the door.
Yeah, nothing.
They're like not a thank you.
I don't remember them saying thank you. I think they just slammed. Cool.
They're like, oh, yeah. I was like,
what's the most valuable item you have lost is our question of the day.
We had Lori write in saying, my son left his wallet and hat on the subway in Toronto, never got them back.
So that person never returned it.
Yeah.
Didn't get a friend out of it either.
No. Ronald saying, so many of my childhood toys that are now worth a small fortune. Sadly, I've never gotten them back. Have you seen how much some Beanie Babies are worth now?
Old Nintendo systems
and
games.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ooh, well, you lost out on that, Ronald, unfortunately. We had Kelly write in saying, my friend got hit by a wave at a beach and lost her prescription sunglasses. I went in the water to try and, help her. Yeah. Got smoked by a wave and also lost mine.
Double dipped.
Sometimes you try to do a good deed and it comes back on you. Thank you so much for participating in our question of the day. We're back right after this.
Fraser Institute is honoring the Semple family at a banquet coming up for their work in entrepreneurship. It's the first time that the Institute has honored a Saskatchewan resident and family, and Sean Semple is in studio with us this morning. Thank you so much, neighbor.
Great.
You're
great to be here.
Just next door. You didn't have to come very far.
No, not at all.
How much does this mean to you?
It's obviously a great honor for our family and really for everyone who works at Brant. Really, it's the people that work at Brant that make it happen every day.
How did you find out?
They actually called my father and mentioned to him that they would like to honor it. They hadn't ever had a dinner here in Saskatchewan in history, so it's a first for the Fraser Institute, which is really a great thing for Saskatchewan as well.
I know you say it's a big honor. Have you had time to actually absorb it? Like the impact that you've been able to make with your family?
Well,
and to share it with your family?
I think it's really, it's a great, my father really deserves all the credit for this. He started it all back in the day with Brant, 1972, and it is a great honor. But I think it really, the Semples don't run this business by ourselves. Our employees really deserve the honor.
Do you ever sit back and think, like, what this has grown into, what your father started?
Well, we didn't imagine it, that's for sure. It's the business has really grown. When Dad started, there was 25 employees. When I started, there were 60 employees, and now we've got over 6,000.
So the other reason that you're here is you've invested a lot of money into the community. You bought the Regina Red Sox, you bought the Regina Pats, and now you've bought a good chunk of Real District.
Right.
Is that a passion project for you? Why dip your toes in those waters?
Well, I think for a number of reasons. We've been invested in the park for 20 years this year, actually, with the naming rights. We've been participating in farm shows ever since I started with the company. We've been investing in the park in other ways and helping them fundraise. Obviously, the Pats connection and so on. But Regina's been very good to our business. We wanted to do something to give back. The park needed a real new direction, new investment, and really money is short out there. And so we wanted to do what we could do to make this a great place. And I think we've got the makings of it. And of course, Queen City Distillers now is a big part of it as well.
We just saw the renderings on the screen, and we'll see them again. Sure. What can fans, people that are going to use these venues, expect when this is all done?
Well, when it's all done, Rich, you're going to see is a renewed park, okay? And I would say from top to bottom. We're going to start, obviously, with the Queen City Distiller project, which is well underway, which we're hoping to open up in December, at least in part.
You hired the best booker in the business. Chris Tessmer is coming over to
We did, yeah. Chris is a great guy, and we've been very fortunate with a lot of our hires. Been some very talented people in putting that group together. But basically, that's about a $30 million plus investment now just on that. Obviously, we've got a new renewed Brant Center that we're going through the scoping of that right now. We're meeting with all the employees at Real. There are a lot of great people there at Real as well. And I think they're looking forward to a new direction and new investment and a renewed enthusiasm about the whole Real district.
Does it add some job security or some added jobs in the course of this?
I think it will add a lot of things. When you think about, when they mention 700 employees doesn't include include the food and beverage. So it's actually about 1,000 employees, a little over 1,000, not including Queen City. But those are part-time, a lot of part-time. So when you don't have events, they don't get hours. So what we're hoping to do is go from 20 or 30 events in the Brant Center to over 100 events. And so that will mean more hours for everyone. Be more aggressive getting trade shows means more jobs, more hours.
A lot of money going in. I can't have you here and not ask you about ticket prices because that's on the minds of a lot of people.
Right.
Regina Red Sox, Regina Pats, all these events. Do ticket prices come down now because you're getting a share of that revenue that you weren't getting before?
Yeah, so the Pats, you'll probably notice the Pats season tickets are not out yet. So we're going through that right now. You're going to expect to see new options. In the past, we only received the season tickets and we received the box tickets. We received advertising revenue from the boards down and the clock, and that's it. And so now we can look at things like the food and beverage and kind of look at those nights, to look at different packages where we can bring more value packages to the mix here. And so that, I think, will cause overall more value packages for the fans and lower ticket prices.
Thank you for the insight and congratulations again on the award. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What Teo Knight loves about his cell phone is being able to listen to his favorite music.
I just need headphones in my phone just to listen to my own music.
And while this Android phone may seem like any other, it's actually set up in a way that limits his access to certain content. No social media, no app store, and no internet browser. Just the ability to call, text, and access Spotify.
We want them to have access to music. We want them to be able to text us when soccer practice ends early. That doesn't mean that we want them watching endless videos off by themselves, kind of thing.
He has a playlist that's for like his before soccer that pumps him up.
It's part of a pilot project started by parent Anne Fizette, which she has dubbed Boom Track.
I was just trying to figure out how can I create something that would satisfy him and what he needs in terms of like the developmental milestones that he's hitting, and at the same time protect him.
She purchased an Android phone and when setting it up used a management device on her computer to control what gets placed on the phone. It's similar to what workplaces will put on employees' phones to restrict some apps or abilities.
This isn't something incredibly new. It's just we haven't used it in terms of for kids.
Still, one tech expert warns the smartphone technology still exists under the surface of the phone, and parents should be cautious.
Any tech-savvy kid can go online and figure out how to bypass them and regain access to app stores and browsers and other features.
Today, Fizette says that she has nearly a dozen parents participating in the project. She's currently covering all of the setup costs, but hopes to expand this to a business if there's enough interest.
It feels like I'm actually part of everything and I'm not missing anything.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Mike Sion is talking all about giving back this morning. Mike?
Cindy McFarland from Team Challenge and Chris Sikorsky from Local Companies That Care join us now. And Chris, talk to us about this initiative. 9 years strong, almost a decade of local companies in Saskatoon giving back to local charities.
It's exactly what it sounds like, Mike. 9 years of Saskatoon charities being supported by Saskatoon businesses, those who care and want to make an impact right here in Saskatoon. So we are a membership organization. And, as small businesses, 99% of all business in the province, Mike, is made up of small business. Right. And so as individuals, we can only move that needle so far, but collectively we can really make a splash and really make an impact. Right. So we come together, good food, good drink, good hangs, and it's just an awesome night of awareness and collective giving. Right. So we're pretty excited about next week.
Yeah, you could tell you're excited, which is fantastic, and good pitches as well. We've heard two tremendous organizations and charities already. Talk to us about Teen Challenge.
Sure. Teen Challenge is an addiction recovery program for men and women 18 years and older. We have two centers right here, right outside of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan Men's Center and Prairie Hope Women's Center. So we have 50 beds right here to serve men and women.
And then you mentioned that this it's a global initiative, a global group. How impactful is it here for us in Saskatchewan?
It's awesome because we can serve, like I said, 50 beds to help men and women, and it's a very affordable program because we have amazing donors right here. So we only charge our clients to come to this 1-year live-in recovery center, $1,100, and we never turn anyone away if they can't afford that. So it's very easy to take that step to get help. The only requirement is that you are 18 years or older and you have a desire to get help for your life-controlling addiction. So you can take that first step and apply online. And once you get there, you can live in, get addictions counseling, learn life skills, and just get down to the root cause.
Incredible stuff. It's been an incredible morning. We've learned a lot about 3 very, very impactful charities, and you can do the same at Local Companies That Care next Tuesday night.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday, and for it, we head to Edmonton. International friendly, Canada taking on Uzbekistan. Second half stoppage time, Canada up 1-0 off the turnover. Tani Alouasei slides it to Jaden Nelson, and he buries it. Nelson looking to grab the last spot on Canada's World Cup roster, and that is your must-see moment from Monday. And today on TSN, we've got quarterfinal action from Roland Garros. Coverage starts at 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Welcome back to the program. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a proclamation making certain changes to tariffs on metals, including steel and aluminum, along with copper imports. According to the White House, the adjusted tariffs will drop from 25% to 15%. This tariff would mostly affect agricultural equipment in a move to help farmers facing the higher costs because of the Iran war. The order will also allow foreign companies to qualify for 10% duty rate if the equipment they make contains at least 85% aluminum or steel from America. The changes take effect next Monday and will remain in place until the end of 2027. Saskatchewan NDP claims the provincial government is going to new lengths to hide details of a plan to refurbish coal-fired power plants in the province. The NDP says the latest Freedom of Information request for cost studies have come back mostly redacted. The opposition believes Sask Power is now trying to find out who at Sask Power is leaking information.
I've heard there's a bit of a witch hunt taking place at the moment. I've heard there are efforts being made to stymie further leaks, document tracing, watermarking all sorts of documents and files within Sask Power. I think this speaks to an organization that's under siege as opposed to a government that's interested in being accountable and transparent with the people they're supposed to represent.
The provincial government is preparing a response. Earlier, Sask Power said it was inappropriate for employees to leak the contents of internal studies. To the Middle East now, where peace in that region is being tested on several fronts, including the exchange of fire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Hezbollah launched projectiles and drones toward Israeli soldiers in southern Israel. Israeli drones killed at least 8 people in southern Lebanon earlier today. Earlier this week, Israeli ground troops made the deepest incursion into Lebanon in 26 years, even capturing the beautiful Beaufort Castle, rather. The U.S. president called the Israeli counterpart and confirmed that there will be no troops going into Beirut. There is so much uncertainty with ceasefire talks and no agreement has yet been reached. Workers are wanted in Saskatchewan's mining industry. Members of the mining industry gathered at the U of S to start mining week. Saskatchewan's mining industry says it'll need 15,000 new employees to work in trades and engineering in the next 10 years, says working with partners right now to fill those positions.
To increase the mining labor pool, we're working closely with the government and industry to promote career opportunities in mining. and collaborating with post-secondary institutions for training that will attract a new generation of talented employees that will underpin the success of Saskatchewan's mining sector.
According to the data collected by the province, the average salary for an employee in the mining industry is just over $155,000 a year. The Yorkton brick mill will soon be accessible by wheelchair thanks to a new grant. On Monday, the Rick Hansen Foundation announced the recipients of the 2026 RBC Barrier Buster Grants Program. The goal of the program is to fund physical accessibility improvements across Canada. 40 communities are awarded up to $40,000. That money in Yorkton will be used to build an elevator that will provide access to the historic building's first floor. Police are calling it the largest seizure of counterfeit soccer jerseys in Canadian history, and for fans, you may have bought a fake.
So folks are walking into retail stores thinking that they're buying an authentic piece of, say, a jersey or sporting equipment. They're paying full price as they would if it was authentic, but they're getting a fake counterfeit.
So hard to tell, isn't it? Toronto police seized some 16,000 fake jerseys and 2 World Cup trophies with a value of about $3.5 million. According to police, the jerseys were being sold to legitimate retailers as authentic. Investigators say they came from Amana Trading Company in Mississauga, Ontario. Police conducted a search on May 26th, arrested 2 men who are facing multiple charges, including fraud over $5,000. They are going to be in court on August 17th. Let's go to the always authentic Kayleen Sawatsky in the Weather Center. Good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. Thank you for that. Let's turn our attention outside. A mix of sun and cloud to start the day in Regina. Mainly cloudy, though, more so on that side. 12 degrees right now to wake you up, and winds coming in at 26 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, also seeing quite a bit of cloud cover to start your day today. 14 degrees, though, so not bad. Winds coming in at 22 kilometers per hour. We did see a very light sprinkle just a few minutes ago, but more of that rain is going to be on the way for the later parts of the afternoon. Let's talk about the rest of the province now. La Ronge has pretty consistently been our hotspot throughout the morning, but now Hudson Bay is matching it at 17 degrees, and Nipawin has surpassed it at 18 degrees. 15 degrees in Melfort, 13 degrees in Spiritwood. Down in the south, East End has remained our cold spot at 9 degrees, 10 degrees in Assiniboia, 12 degrees in Weyburn, and 15 degrees in Yorkton. Just above that, Wynyard at 16 degrees. Later on into the afternoon, we're taking a look at quite a bit of precipitation on your screen there. It kind of curves around the southwest corner, though. We did see more of that precipitation earlier on this morning, but later on we'll more so be seeing it in areas around Yorkton. 21 degrees. Still seeing that risk of some thunderstorms around Prince Albert. 22 degrees. 22 for Saskatoon. Just a little bit of rain there. Regina, you do see the rain icon. We're not expecting a whole lot here, but again, it could just be a light spitting of some precipitation. 20 degrees and 19 degrees for Moose Jaw. Here's an updated look at those numbers. So Yorkton, it has gone down dramatically. It's kind of gone up a little bit in Swift Current, though. 3 millimeters by the end of the day now for Yorkton. Gone down quite a bit in Prince Albert as well. 3 millimeters on tap for the Battlefords. Now, temperatures do drop slightly tomorrow in Regina, 19 degrees. 23, though, by Thursday, so that's back up to that seasonal average. 25 by Friday. And the sun is expected to come out on that day. 30 degrees once again on Saturday. However, we are seeing on the radar the chance of some light precipitation early in the morning and then into the later overnight hours. Sunday, 21 degrees. Also seeing the chance of some precipitation early in the morning, but clearing up for the afternoon, and 23 by Monday. In Saskatoon, dropping down to 18 degrees tomorrow with that continued risk of a thunderstorm. 23 degrees by Thursday with a mix of sun and cloud. 24 on Friday, and a higher chance of seeing that rain in the afternoon hours on Saturday and Sunday for Saskatoon. Temperatures looking right around that average, though. 23 degrees on Monday with a mix of sun and cloud.
After last month's news, the snowbirds will be grounded at the end of the flying season. Advocates have launched a campaign in an attempt to keep the Tudor jets in the air until the new planes arrive. Moose Jaw's mayor is standing by. We'll get to him right after Donovan Mace.
Brian Swidrovich organized Saskatoon's Canada Remembers Air Show for more than 20 years. Often flying at the event, the snowbirds.
It's not just at air shows, it's all the other stuff that people I guess after a while you take it for granted. It's like anything else. Maybe there might not be a next year.
His support for the Air Squadron earned him the title Honorary Snowbird. And now he's hoping to give back that support after news the team will be grounded.
I'm as concerned about their future as anybody.
On May 19th, the federal government announced plans to replace the Snowbirds' current Tudor jets with new aircraft, grounding them at the end of this airshow season until at least the early 2030s.
I saw the Snowbirds when I was 10 years old at an air show, and then later on it became my career.
Snowbirds alum Maurice Carmichael believes by not flying, the team is at risk of losing its experience and wants to find an alternative solution to fill the gap.
Perhaps reducing to 7 airplane, reducing the length of the show, the complexity of the show, and using some of our partners, making it a true Canadian team approach.
The Alumni Association launching a letter writing campaign to keep the team in the air. The city of Moose Jaw, home of the Snowbirds, has already pledged its support.
We just need to, firm that message up that the Snowbirds are ours, they belong to everyone, and we need them to keep going.
Swidrovich says every letter counts.
Everybody has a story and a memory and about what the team means to them. And I've got lots of them, obviously. So take the time, write a letter to your MP.
The Snowbirds' final show is scheduled for this October in California, with many hopeful it won't be the last. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
For further reaction, we welcome in the mayor of the fine community of Moose Jaw. That is James Murdoch. Thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with us. Obviously, the encouragement here at this point is just to write to local MPs. Is that correct?
Correct, Daryl, and good morning, and thank you for this opportunity. The Snowbirds are precious to everyone, and their strength in numbers. So with the Snowbird alumni coming out, with their campaign, the No Pause, Keep the Snowbirds Flying, I think that there's considerable power in that message, and I think that we as people of our great nation, if we can initiate a contact, send an email to Prime Minister Carney, to National Defence Minister McGuinty, just to reiterate the importance of the Snowbirds and that everyone is on board with seeing that they keep flying.
You've asked for further clarification. What clarification are you looking for from the government?
Well, essentially, we know that they have announced that there is the PC-21 that will replace the Tudor sometime into the 2030s. So we know that there are new planes that are committed for the Snowbirds. We just want to know when into 2030 and how can we keep the Snowbirds flying until those new planes are ready for them. So there is a gap right now from, the end of 2026 into the 2030s. We want to see that gap drastically narrowed.
James, I've done this for 20 years, so I know how the news cycle works, right? So people in your community definitely want to keep this top of mind so that people out there don't forget that this is a major, major issue for your community, not only in tourism dollars, but in a sense of pride. You've had a little bit more time to take those calls into your office, those emails. What are people saying now, a little further on into the process here?
Right. Daryl, well, the outreach has been overwhelming, of course, not only from our local citizens who cherish the Snowbirds on a daily basis, but nationally too. I've received phone calls, emails from every province, every territory across our great nation, and people really, they want to know what can we do. And the best, I think that, like I stated earlier, the power that people have right now is to reach out to Ottawa and let them know that the Snowbirds are a cherished national treasure that inspire everyone, and they must remain flying.
So I always say that Tuesday is scientifically the worst day of the week. I don't know if there's actual science behind that, but the Snowbirds are just one reason to visit Moose Jaw. Give us a couple more reasons to come visit your fine town. Well,
something that comes to mind right now, the iconic band, the Stampeders, are performing at the iconic May Wilson Theatre this evening. So that's going to be a great event. And, I would just suggest if you're coming to Moose Jaw, just be respectful of the fact that the Temple Gardens Mineral Spa pool is down right now for renovations. So if you're thinking of taking a dip in the mineral waters, just know that there's improvements being made there. So.
All right, James, thank you so much for doing this. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Daryl. All the best.
Tickets officially go on sale for the annual Gift of Giving Gala, promising an unforgettable evening for a great cause. That's where Janelle Lippi is teeing it all up for us. Janelle?
Good morning. The Gift of Giving Gala is coming up in September. Those tickets are on sale. And this morning I've been chatting here with Chelsea. Chelsea, thanks for being back with me.
Yeah, thanks for having us again.
Now, attending the gala is not the only way you can support these amazing initiatives. Tell me how else people can get involved.
Absolutely. We always take volunteers on if you'd like to help out with the gala itself or help out with any events that we do throughout the community within the year. Always reach out to us. We're happy to have that help. And also just getting involved with these organizations directly. You can go to the Hospitals of Regina Foundation, donate to them. You can go to Dragonfly Family and Wellness Center and as well Lincoln's Life Matter Foundation. They're always happy to talk, take donations, and kind of spread the word about mental health awareness here in the province.
Incredible. And for those watching who might have missed it earlier here this morning, how can people get their hands on some tickets?
Absolutely. You can visit us on our social media pages, The Gift of Giving Gala, or online at thegiftofgivinggala.ca. It is September 12th at the Connexus Arts Center. Doors open at 6 p.m. And again, the theme is around the world, just very multicultural. And kind of like I explained earlier, everything is included in your ticket, like your dinner, your drinks, your cab ride to and from the event, as well as all the vendors. We're going to have different vendors this year that are kind of related, obviously, on theme to the event. Forever jewelry, henna, completely different entertainment, and something that you just haven't seen here before.
All right, Chelsea, well, thank you so very much for that. Once again, those tickets are on sale. Get your hands on them before they're all out. You can head to the link that's been popping up on your screen.
The steamy hockey TV series Off Campus has started filming season 2 in Vancouver following its massive success. The show, based on a book of the same title, features local talent and gives UBC students some massive bragging rights. Yasmin Gradam reports.
So what, I help you study and you play my fake boyfriend?
Off Campus is shot on campus at UBC, where the university is transformed into the fictional Briarview in Boston.
It was just like some of the most fun I've ever had on set. The crew was incredible. The cast was incredible.
The show is filled with Canadian representation, from on-screen and behind the scenes to homegrown music. 14 Vancouver Film School alumni helped with season 1, including actress Amira Anderson.
We don't get to see that very often anymore. It's a lot of like talent has flown in. And we don't make use of what's here. So it was really nice to be surrounded by that.
The show breaking records with more than 37 million global viewers in less than 2 weeks. It's a massive bounce back for BC's filming industry that has seen challenges with the COVID-19 pandemic and a writer's strike.
I think we're all cautiously optimistic. You nailed it. It's been a really, really tough year, not just for British Columbia, but globally for the motion picture industry.
Canadian band The Beaches saw a boost with their song experiencing a nearly 900% increase in streams after being featured in the show. Notable campus spots include the Irving Learning Center and, of course, the Thunderbird Sports Center, which stands in for the hockey arena and locker rooms, bringing BC to center stage.
Yes, there's more work to do always. We want to make sure that we are top of mind always when people look at where to bring production, but something like Off Campus is just, it makes us incredibly proud.
The hope is for more films and TV shows to showcase Canadian talent, and Off Campus may just be what the industry needed to prove its worth.
It's just kind of a spark of hope that I think we all really needed.
Yasmin Gandham, CTV News, Vancouver.
It's the midnight sun kiss, get under the red sky, laying on your chest like this. Hold me like the pebbles in your hand, and it's just understand, yeah, summer isn't over, yeah. I don't wanna talk down, I don't wanna be a whore, I just know it can be better, be better, be better.
icing on your cake, the cherry on the top. It's heaven in my heart, and we could find you some space.
The incident happened on April the 14th, 2026 at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Victoria Park near the Cenotaph. A man was seated on a bench when two males on bikes approached. The shorter of the two males pulled a knife out of the front pocket of his hoodie and stabbed the victim. The suspects then immediately fled on their bikes and were last seen going northwest towards 12th Avenue. The victim had never seen the males before the attack. There were several people in the park at the time of the incident, and police would like to speak with you to see what you know about the incident.
I'm Belton Johnson, board member with Regina Crime Stoppers. Did you know Crime Stoppers would pay up to $2,000 cash rewards for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina? Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, in Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
A special celebration over the weekend. A family in southeastern Saskatchewan who knows a thing or two about living a long life.
Sierra D'Souza Butts introduces us to a family of sisters all over the age of 90 celebrating another sibling marking a little higher.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Molly.
Polly Everly says she feels far from 100 years old.
I'll dance yet. Only I can't see very good, eh? Otherwise, I'm 100 perfectly.
Born in Momart, Saskatchewan in 1926, Polly grew up in a family of 7 with 4 sisters and 2 brothers. Now, she's marking a milestone next to 3 of her sisters who are all over the age of 90.
We feel old because my sister is the oldest. Sometimes we had pretty good fights, but not so bad.
By her side are Babe, Evelyn, and Betty, who are 93, 94, and 96 years old. When branching off to build families of their own, the siblings stayed close to one another, farming in the Kendall and Fillmore areas.
They're all there except for my mother. And I happen to be the oldest nephew of the whole bunch.
Noel credits his relatives' good health to their love of dancing.
They wouldn't miss a dance, and they play instruments and everything else. I think they could still dance if you'd hold them a little bit.
Polly told me that it was a shot of whiskey in the evening.
The Keller family has now extended to 5 generations. Polly's great-niece saying it's unbelievable to see all 4 sisters together in their 90s.
It's sad that, their 2 brothers are gone and their older sister, which was my grandmother, is gone. But I look at my dad now and I keep thinking, geez, does he have those genes in him? Because I'd like him to live to be 100 or older, too.
Adding, any opportunity to get together, she will cherish.
There we go.
Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Well, congratulations to the Everlys.
Yeah,
longevity.
And happy birthday. What a blessing to live such long lives.
Do you have anybody in your family? My great-grandma made it to 101 out in Outlook, Saskatchewan.
No, I think my grandfather made it to 85. Okay. And I think that's the highest we go in my family.
Well, shout out to Outlook, Saskatchewan. If you're watching from out there, send us some pictures of the area, especially that golf course. It's awesome. Let's get over to our sidebar for this Tuesday.
Croatia is throwing a week-long party for its most beloved resident. Koki the cockatoo has just turned 70 years old. This isn't an unusual age for a cockatoo living in captivity, but he isn't an old crank either. He's happy to whistle and chat with the visitors. Sometimes he'll even argue with people as well.
naturally.
When I'm 70, I'm still going to be arguing with people.
There was a story just a couple of days ago about a parrot on the roof, and the firefighter went up to get him, and the parrot told him kindly to expletive.
Oh.
Get away.
Oh, okay.
They are a cranky sort at some
They're
time.
very smart.
Apparently not this one. If you had to guess, who would you think would love to eat a meat birthday cake?
Point
in the show where we usually say, hey, Jeremy, would you try it? And Jeremy Dodge says, yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
So we have to run this again tomorrow. This is a group of tiger cubs. They are enjoying this at the wildlife park in northwest China for the cubs' birthday.
Hey, I mean, if you cook the meat, everybody can come to the cookout.
That's
Great
true.
Birthday.
That'd be a great fun time.
It'd be very expensive, but hey.
Very expensive. It's less expensive than berries.
That's true. The berry budget is high in our houses.
My goodness. Time out. We're back in about 21 hours, give or take. We'll see you then.